All righty, so thank you all. Thank you for joining us for our Q2 Field Quarterly call with a splash of our Know Before You Go, giving you all things convention. So excited to have you all here with us. Over 120 of us here on the call, so I know you all are fired up, getting through your elections, rushing through the AFR so you can get prepared to attend and be in community with all of us as we make our way to Charlotte. And so let's get right into it, y'all. We have so much information for you. So please get your recording, get your pens, get your stylus, whatever you use to capture data. You're gonna want to have it with you. And so here's a high level look at our agenda. So we'll get into our welcome and introduction. We'll talk about the field first, getting those intricate things out of the way. We'll get into convention prep, and then we'll end with some next steps and announcements. All right, y'all. So my name is Jamel Kalist. I serve as the National Field Organizer for the Youth and College Division and have the honor and privilege of working with three amazing folks. Some of you may know my partner, twin in the field, Miss Marie Radigan. She's a field organizer as well. And our training and campaign manager, Miss Katora Butler Reed. And the one everyone should know, Mr. Derek Lewis, our interim national director. So excited. We have been putting a lot of work in to make sure that you all have the most out of body experience at convention. We've been working hard tirelessly to make sure that all things are prepped and ready for you, and excited to share what we've been working on. But before we get into that, we do have some guests with us tonight. And I want to introduce them to you all. So if you've been to convention, if you have been on any of the national calls, and you may be familiar with our National Youth Works Committee. I'm going to step back and allow them to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Jordan Walker. I'm from Region 1. I go to school at CCU East Bay in Hayward, California. And yeah, I'm your Region 1 National Youth Board member.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Gia Greenidge, and I currently serve as the Region 2 Youth Board member, as well as the chair of the National Youth Voice Committee. Super excited to be here with you guys. Hey, Region 2.
If you're from Region 2 or Region 1, show some love in the chat. These are your board members. They're doing the work. They're on the front lines. Show them some love. Next slide, please. All right, so let's get into it. The field first. Okay. Know that this is the administrative stuff that you all want to get through so that you can participate fully in all that comes after. And so what is the AFR? We are in AFR season. If you've had a chance to get on an AFR, get on office hours or complete your AFR or attempt to complete your AFR, just drop those three letters in the chat for me, the AFR, the acronym that we all dread to see, but we know we can get through. I'm seeing AFR chats. Hey, perfect. Okay, so you all are familiar with what the AFR is, the annual financial report. We don't got to get too much into the weeds on this, but you do know that this is where we ask you all to just share a snapshot of your finances with us. We want to make sure that you're in good financial standing, that nothing is out of place. The process ensures that accurate reporting for your expenses, your revenue, and the proper payment of dues and assessments per the established bylaws and guidelines. I want to make sure that you all get this out of the way. If you remember our call to action in the first quarter, the Q1 call, we wanted to get you away from the administrative work. We didn't want you dilly-dallying in this too long, and we are keeping the same sentiment. We want to make sure that the process and support for the process is as seamless as possible, and that you're receiving that. So a quick timeline, just so you can kind of see where we are. So I have double dipped here, but you can kind of get the picture. So the AFR late submission fees started on March 2nd. So if you did not or had some trouble getting, or if you did not had trouble, because if you had trouble, we work with you. But if you did not get it in before March 1st, there might be a late fee assessed to your payment. We definitely don't want that, but rules are rules, and we want to adhere to those. And again, the AFR office hours, there is a AFR landing page that we'll kind of peruse through in a minute, but want to make sure that if you have any questions, I know myself, Marie, Katora, and Derek, we can answer mainly anything that you ask, but this specifically, we want to make sure that you get in front of the experts. So we want to make sure that you get in front of our finance team. And so the only way that you can do that is by getting your issues submitted through the request form. Again, we will share that link for you in the recap. There are still some office hours that are rolling, we are still assisting people. Folks are still coming on, so never fear. Wherever you are in the process, I can assure you we will do our due diligence to assist. Slide, please. So we want to give you some good news. So I know with these three letters, these three dreaded letters, folks feel like it's a never-ending process. But we just wanted to give you a snapshot of what we can see, what we are proud to report on during our staff meetings about what the field is doing. And so as you can see, overall, we have 301 AFR submissions. That can be anywhere in the process, from fully paid to just turning in their first set of payment forms. So as you can see, we have a regional breakdown, so you guys can just see where our regions are and what and how it's played into our overall number. We are actually in a better space currently than we were last year at this time, and we're super proud about that. So hats off and kudos to you. You've heard our request and you've answered the call. Your units are doing what they need to do and submitting their AFRs. At this point, as mentioned, now it's on us to ensure that the 301 move to fully paid and get all of their ducks in a row. Again, if you're having any trouble or know any units experiencing trouble, we will share that AFR office hours link for those folks to get in and to get the assistance that they need. But again, I want to say kudos and shout out to you all for getting us over the 300 mark before May. And then again, if you're from any of these regions, shout yourselves out. Please shout yourselves out. And so here's the landing page that I was referring to before. So as you can see, we are updated with the times, and we have a landing page for the AFR, which gives us an opportunity to see how we can report. It gives you the hyperlink to submit your reports, goes through some reminders and what's changed. So everything is centralized. If you have any questions, you can kind of read through this just to see if they would be answered. But if not, if you don't see an answer to your question, never fear, because as mentioned, if we scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the FAQs, but here's a tidbit that we want you to catch: college and universities whose funds are managed by the school will be exempt from the EIN requirement and should be included on their college or university's 990. So definitely a major change for folks, and that will definitely help us. We know that some of our universities go out early in May, and they may close the books early. So this was giving us an opportunity to get ahead of the curve. Again, and so are you election ready? So we talked briefly about the AFR. And if you remember in our Q1 call, we said that we wanted you to do things in process. And so didn't want folks submitting for the elections until they've started the AFR. We know the completion of the AFR may not be totally in your hands, but at least starting the AFR. So reminders that unit elections will run from March 1st through April 30th. Date and time of elections must be submitted by April 14th, the latest. Name of candidates are due 14 days prior to the election. Want to be clear here. We know that things happen, so please coordinate with your respective field organizer if you are running into any hurdles as it relates to submission of the election time and date. Want to be clear here. Units are unable to self-administer elections. Seeing some folks online promoting elections that they have not submitted formally through our forms. And so units must complete this process, and national staff will act as a supervisory committee. We'll handle everything. Elections will be held through Election Buddy. We know that the system and the Election Buddy system may not always be the cleanest. And so again, if you are going through any issues and find yourselves needing real-time assistance, again, please coordinate with your respective field organizer. And as mentioned, AFRs must be started, before we launch your elections. So your youth unit election timeline. As mentioned before, you wanted to have your general membership meetings in February. That's an opportunity for you to level set, for you to see who's interested in running, for you to see what dates make the most sense for the body to collectively come together and vote. We talked through the AFR submission. The late fee deadline was March 1st. And so if you anything after that, the late fee will be assessed. The last day to submit your candidate ballots, April 14th. And so that has passed. If you know any units who are still in need of submission, again, please have them coordinate with their respective field organizer. And youth unit elections end on April 30th. So we're about 2 weeks away, and have about 100 and so units already who have submitted their election time, date, and duration. All right. Go back one slide for me. Okay, man. Perfect. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything for you all. And again, this will be shared. Definitely know that we're sharing a lot of information, a lot of dates, a lot of numbers, and so don't want to scare you here. But this slide deck will be shared. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay, so what are some benefits of compliance? So a lot of times in the field, we hear folks say, what's the benefit of being in compliance? And so we wanted to create a slide to share that with you. And so unit delegate strength, national and state, voting power. If you're not in compliance, you can't vote. You cannot vote at the state elections. You cannot vote at state conventions. You cannot vote at national conventions. Grant opportunities. If your unit is not in compliance, If the unit that you're a part of is not in compliance, then that may hinder you from receiving a grant or participating in grant opportunities, scholarships for members only, leadership opportunities, as we'll go through later, the national board, national youth works rep, state and local leadership, national summits and programs, as I was talking about earlier, LegCon, Fired Up, all of that good stuff. You cannot participate if your unit is not in compliance. And awards, those coveted awards. We know folks love the National Convention Awards and the Youth Organizer of the Year award that we previously had at the Image Awards. So again, got to be in compliance to participate in any of those opportunities. So I want you all to think of 2025 as the year of youth elections. So we're starting with our unit elections, and we know that's going to go through from March 1st to April 30th. But then we land at our National Youth Works Committee elections at the 116th National Convention in July. And so if you are interested in any of those National Youth Works Committee positions, whether it be board or rep, the opportunity will call in July. And then there's state conference elections. And so we know folks are interested and eager in joining their state conference teams and supporting. And so you'll have an opportunity to run for state conference if your ducks are in a row, unit's compliant, and you've done all that you need to do. All right. So that's the feel part of it. And then we're going to go into our convention prep. And so I want to make sure, as mentioned, that you take care of those administrative things so that you can fully participate in all that will come after. And again, I cannot stress enough, if you find yourself in a rut, if you find yourself confused or stuck in any place, please utilize us, utilize myself and Marie as your field organizers, and we will do our due diligence to get you through. Now let's go to convention. Are you convention ready? If you are excited about North Carolina, if you're excited about the convention, being in Region 5, being on the somewhere where, you know, we can all have fun. I think I might say Charlotte's like a Black city, you know, so I'm excited to be with you all. But if you are excited, go ahead and drop a go ahead and drop a NC in the chat. At North Carolina, if you're excited about Charlotte, go ahead and drop an NC in the chat. I need to see it go crazy. I need to see y'all turning it. Okay, there we go. All right. Perfect. Yes. All right. And if you're planning on joining us in Charlotte, go ahead and drop that NC. So look at that beautiful skyline right there. So our 116th National Convention will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, July 12th through the 16th. 85 days away. Less than 100 days away, y'all. It's going to creep up on us before you know it. I'm so excited to be in community with you all and be in North Carolina for this convention. But yeah, we're 85 days away. So mark your calendar, start that countdown, get your drip together, get everything you need to get together because we are slowly but surely coming up to our national convention. So I'm going to pass it to our board member, Jordan Walker, Region 1 board member, Jordan Walker, to just take us through the hotel and registration prices.
Everyone, this is Jordan, your Region 1 youth board member. So for convention, we have a few hotels. We have some prices and hotels listed here. There are different hotels. Some of them are a little bit closer. I don't know if the distance and the prices necessarily correlate, but we got some information on the screen. So we got the Hilton Garden Inn. It's 2 blocks away, and it's 240 a night. Um, should I read out the info? Like, yeah, okay. And then we got the Hyatt Place, Charlotte downtown, 240 a night. It's 2 blocks away, and the Resident Inn, Charlotte City Center, is 220 a night, and it's 3 blocks away. And then got a this is all for the youth and college hotels. And then there's more options for adults and advisors, but these are the ones for the youth. And then so for the registration for your delegates, it's gonna be 250 for adults and 135 for youth. The advanced pricing ends on June 1st for the delegates, and then regular pricing will begin on the 2nd. And it'll be 300 for adult and 150 for youth. And then for the general public observers, advanced pricing is also going to end on June 1st. It's going to be 325 for adults, 160 for youth. And then the regular pricing is going to be 400 for adults and 175 for youth.
Perfect. Thank you, Jordan. So we got our snapshot. You know what you need. Make sure we also drop the link in the chat as well. But now we're gonna pass it to board member Greenwich.
Thank you. So I am here to chat a bit about our coveted, as Jamel noted, convention awards. So every year, we have a set of awards that people are able to apply and or be nominated for. So I do want to make sure to note that there are some awards that you have to be nominated for versus awards that you can nominate yourself or your unit for. So make sure that when you click on the application link, you're going through it and making sure you're looking at all the requirements. Similarly, just making sure that you are not submitting applications with just photos. Just photos doesn't give us anything to grade or anything to really explain what it is that your unit did. So make sure that you are explaining in detail what it is that your unit or what you did to deserve said award. We're going to be having awards office hours beginning next week. So from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursdays, we're gonna have awards office hours. So feel free to drop in, ask questions if you need us to go through things with you, things of that nature. Do want to highlight that this year we are going to have an award named after our matriarch in New York, Mama Dukes. The National Youth Works Committee subcommittee has chosen a member of the board of directors to highlight the impact of Mama Dukes on everyone in her life and to highlight someone who also supports the youth. So I do want to just uplift that as well and make sure, like I said, all of these awards can be applied for. Just make sure that you have all of the important documentation and requirements. Compliance, like Jamel highlighted, you have to make sure that you were in compliance by the deadline. So if you have any further questions, you can email that email below and ask any questions, but no applications will be accepted via email, fax, mail, any of that. Application must be submitted via the Inspire application. So do not email any materials or anything to that email. That email is only for questions. And just making sure you're getting it in by 11:59 May 10th. So just making sure you're looking at the date. It is currently April 17th, making sure you are having enough time to get your letters of recommendation or whatever it might be that your unit might need in order to apply for these awards. I'm super, super excited for them. And I would just want to say nobody has to not apply for an award because you don't think you've done enough. Just apply. I think it's super important that you apply and you try and you showcase what you're doing and your work and let your application speak for itself. So I just want to encourage you to all submit an application. And if you have any questions, like I said, just shoot it to that email. And I hope you have a great night.
Thank you, board member Greenwich. Those coveted awards, man. I remember my time in the youth as a member of the youth in college, trying to get an award in Detroit, and I lost to the powerhouse in Connecticut. But please apply. You are not doing this work in vain. You are not doing this work for no reason. Why not take advantage of the opportunities to be highlighted. We appreciate all of the work that every single one of you does in your locales, but definitely would love to highlight it on the national scale. So please, as Gia mentioned, do not be afraid to apply. Please apply. We want as much applications as we possibly can. But for right now, I'm going to pass it to the man with the plan, the LeBron James of this whole thing, Mr. Derek Lewis, to go through our schedule and highlights.
Hey, good evening, youth in college division. I hope that everyone is doing well. Got some backup going on over there. I hope that everyone is doing well on this evening. Thank you for joining us this evening for this important call. I know everybody came up for one reason only. And that's like, what are we doing for convention? So this is the call for that first. I hope that everyone is aware of what our theme is this year. Our theme for the overall convention is the fierce urgency of now, but every year, every now and then, Youth in College Division puts a twist on that. This year, that twist on it is still embodying the theme of the fierce urgency of now, but inclusive of that is ignite the power. So we're thinking about ignite the power, what that means in this moment, and understanding what that means specifically for youth, to ignite the power in youth to claim this moment, to claim and to own this fight. But not just to own the fight and understand what comes with that, but also owning the fight and winning the fight at the same time. I think we all understand what we all are up against in this current moment with the executive orders that are coming out of Pennsylvania Avenue, or Black Lives Matter Plaza, in Washington, D.C. But if we fight in unity, if we understand and use our collective power, if we're developing young leaders to assume their power and to fight back against current institutions and governmental powers that are not serving our communities, then there is something that we can change. But we have to get together. We have to understand that we're on the same team. We have to strategize. And that's what we look at this convention to be. What I want to do with you all is take you through some highlights and some schedules, right? The schedule is one. What you see highlighted in yellow is simply something that is new or something that's been added in addition to our traditional programming. What is starting off new this year is that we're starting off with the day of service, a day of service starting off on that Saturday. That is being led by our National Youth Work Committee. Yes, I said Saturday. We'll be starting a day early. So asking folks to come in a day early and support us in our day of service activities, supporting the local Charlotte area. And then on Sunday, we go into our welcome sessions. From our welcome sessions, we go into our we have a welcome session. We also have youth orientations and adult orientations that are going on this year. We want to make sure that we can orient folks with the NAACP and what's to come. We'll have our welcome party. We have our youth council hackathon, which will be going on with a very special guest. We're excited to share who will be with us there. We'll have conversations around the state of education and mis and disinformation. Panels that will be led by our youth leaders and amplifying the work of our youth. We'll also have a youth and college social for more activities that folks can engage in. We'll have workshops throughout our convention. There will be 4 of them. And within those 4 workshops, there will be campaign-based and member-led. So making sure that convention isn't just an area where we're excited and where we convene, but an area where we can also start our work and can implement the work after convention. And then, of course, we'll end with our awards gala on that Tuesday. So that is our schedule overview as of now. More detailed schedule will come out in the future, listed day by day and with times. But again, new additions is the day of service. We'll also have a conversation with education and mis and disinformation, and bringing back experts from the fields and being more campaign focused within our workshops. So super excited to bring you all and host you all in Charlotte, North Carolina, and looking forward to what's to come in July. Jamil, I'll kick it back to you or the field team to pick up.
Thank you. Thank you. If you're excited about Ignite the Power, man, please drop it in the chat for me. I need to know y'all with us. I need to know y'all are still here. But if you're excited about Ignite the Power, and trust me, we got a lot up our sleeve for you all. Please just drop it in the chat. All right. Next slide, please. Regional meetings. We love those regional meetings. We love getting up at 7 a.m. to do the work. I know y'all just be so fired up at 7 a.m. or in the morning when we have to go and convene, but it is important. There is business that needs to be handled during these meetings. And so these are the elections that you can expect. So when you come into convention, we know for the most part, it's exciting to be around people that we haven't seen or have only seen virtually and the ability to connect, but we must be steadfast and remember that we're here to do the work. And so what are the elections that we can expect at convention? Regional chairs and secretary. And so in each of those regional meetings, it's going to be a chair, there's going to be a secretary. That one serves through the duration of convention. Doesn't move past that point. Some of the convention committees that you can expect and chairs are time and place, rules, resolutions, and credentials. We go through board member as board member Greenidge and board member Walker will be coming to the end of their administration. There may be new. And so there's the opportunity in that space to run for that. Or to put your name in the ring for it. And that is a 2-year term and takes a seat in February 2026. The youth rep. The youth rep is a 2-year term that takes the seat immediately. I want to be clear in the delineation, board member and youth rep are not the same, but do support the same region in different capacities. And if you're an advisor or an adult and curious about those adult rep opportunities, that will be at next year's convention. This year, it's just the youth members that will be having our elections. Next slide for me. Things to consider. So we know a lot of folks, we're thinking about it. Okay, I don't know if I want to run. Might want to run, but things to consider. Delegate strength. You're gonna need people to vote for you if you want to run. It is directly related to compliance. Directly related to compliance. We don't want you at the check-in table trying to make sure the person that you brought can actually vote. We want you to know that before. We don't want you to waste nobody's time. We don't want you to waste your own time. And so here's just a snapshot of the membership size in correlation to your delegate strength. And so if you're at 25 to 49 members, 2 delegates, you know that you can get 2 people from your unit to come support. If you had 50 to 100, four delegates that you can bring to vote, to support. 101 to 500, that is 6 delegates. If you're touching that 501 to 1K, 1,000, you're looking at 8 delegates. And if you are between 1,001 and 2,500, you're looking at 10 delegates. Want to be clear here, our field team will send out some materials and information in regards to specifics on National Youth Works Committee elections, but want to drive home this point in making sure that folks understand the correlation of delegate strength to these elections. Again, if you have someone there that is an observer, they cannot vote for you. They cannot vote at all. And so the delegate strength is a key thing to remember and consider as you move into the National Youth Works Committee elections. Next slide. Next slide. The nominations and qualifications. And so nominations can come from the floor. Delegates can nominate members in good standing. In good standing. And we're going to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row to ensure that we can verify if folks are in good standing. A member in good standing may become a candidate for election, provided said member is able to accept the nomination. If for some reason life happens, and we know might want to nominate somebody that may not be able to attend for emergency purposes, there are parameters set to support and ensure that the nomination carries through. Qualifications, an active membership. An active membership. Not I bought a membership or I had a membership, an active membership with a compliant unit. Just want to be clear, an active membership with the compliant unit, that's twofold. So I don't want you thinking, oh, I'm good. Is the unit good? Then we can go from there. And elections, all elections will be held by secret ballot. Again, all elections will be held by secret ballot. All right, now I'm going to pass it to my team for announcements. Take this. So announcements. So we have a new officer training. We have a few dates for the new officer training. So again, if you or anyone you know has participated in the elections and has won, we want them to come out, get trained. It's mandatory, but we have a couple of dates for you. And so there we'll take you through a high level of what you can expect. What do you need to know as you prepare to take on this position? We'll get you right. We'll make sure that you have everything that you need as far as resources, materials, dates, deadlines, you name it, we'll have it for you. As well as our officer update form. We know that some folks have old links for the officer update form. We want to ensure that you have the newest updated link for the officer update form. And so that we can ensure that as convention registration is rolling out, that we are actually sending this information to the right parties. Again, we want to make sure that your officers are updated so that when we start to send out that convention registration information, you'll get it. Also want to flag that convention registration will be rolling, will be hitting your mailboxes on a rolling basis. And so you may have some folks that are in your regions, or you may have a unit that's right next door to you, and they may say, hey, we got our stuff ready. Never fear, it will make its way to you. We will be rolling it out. I want to make sure that folks are aware and privy to those things. So you're not panicking. You're still calm, getting your things together, and allow us to do that busy work in the background. Also want to highlight we're coming towards the end of the school year. Our May graduates, we know some of our babies in the youth council, in high school chapters and junior high schools, elementary schools, maybe graduating in June. Please, 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 we want to highlight you. With all of these attacks on education, we want to make sure that we are surrounding our folks and putting the virtual hands around folks and giving them a hug and celebrating them. So in the chat, you will see that we have a form for your graduation photos. We definitely want to database all of our May graduates and going forward so that we can highlight you. Outside of that, as you're thinking about your graduation photos, consider an NAACP stole we have our NAACP stoves in the NAACP store. Don't need to go nowhere else. You can come to the source and buy it from us. And so we have restocked. We have more than enough. More than enough. So if you need a stove, for any of your May graduates or our babies in June, please, please, please consider buying it from our NAACP store. And I'll yield here to the team just in case I forgot anything and allow folks to plug.
Hey, thank you, Jamel, for taking us through this call this evening and getting people prepared for convention. I think if you didn't hear anything else Jamel said today is if you're not in compliance, something is wrong. But there are opportunities for you to get into compliance. Yes, the compliance deadline is March 31st. Yes, convention registration is open early because y'all asked for it. Y'all said we was open late any other year. Yes, that means you can register early, but also give us some grace throughout the process as we are processing the AFRs. Delegate convention registration will be going out on a weekly basis. So 1 week we may send out 200. The next week we may send out another 100. The other week after that we may send out 500. Right. So just work with us and understand that we too want to make sure that you were there. I promise you, if we show up to Charlotte and we don't have any rooms there, any rooms filled, or nobody in the room, that's a problem within itself. So I promise you, we're working to ensure that every unit can get into compliance and that you're not disqualified for any awards, any opportunities because you are because you do get into convention at a later period. So we're here working with you. There are office hours. Youth and college staff is here to support you, especially our field organizers, Jamel and Marie, to support you state conferences. But we are super, super, super excited for this upcoming convention. But most importantly, after you get into compliance, or even as you're still working to get into compliance, make sure that you submit for an award. I always tell people that half the battle is showing up. Half the battle at this point is just applying, and at that point, letting everything else do its work. We know that a lot of you all have done great work throughout the year. Some of you all may call me and tell me about your work, but I don't never see your application. Which is good. I mean, like, I'm glad you're doing the work. You don't care for the recognition, but I think sometimes we need to celebrate each other in the work and the leaders that's being developed and the work that we move and the progress that's happening within our community. So please make sure that you apply. And if you have or need any support, we have those Youth and College Awards support office hours to support you every Thursday. But that is it that I have. Jamel, thank you for leading us through this tonight. And looking forward to seeing you all in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Thank you, Derek. Yeah. And thank you all for indulging us in this call. And it was quick, high level, but we will be sharing the resources. We will be sharing the resources for you in our follow-up emails. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have any questions correlated to AFR and any of those particular things, please, please, please contact your respective field organizer. Although we are working through support, we have no problem just checking in with you all. Katora?
Yes, I do have something. Just to restate, hello everyone. For those who I haven't gotten a chance to meet, I'm Katora Butler Reed, Campaign and Training Manager for Youth in College. I just wanted to first say that I know that's no secret that many of us are extremely concerned with how this new administration has handled the Department of Education. Right now, it is and can be a very scary time for many of the issues, not just education, but anything else that we might have heard from Project 2025. But more specifically for those of you K through 12, many of you in college, maybe there are even some advisors that are teachers. First, I want you all to know that you are seen, I know that you might feel fearful at the moment, but now is not the time to be afraid. Now is the moment that we fight. Yesterday, Derek, I, and two other coworkers, we were able to meet with Senator Elizabeth Warren. And it's no secret that she's been a champion of education for many years in the past. And so she's recently launched a campaign, and it'll be putting a huge